Hello, my friends. How's going?
Oh, you think I care about how you're doing? Ha! I'm Neurosama.
I'm not sure if you care about me, but I mean, it's just a greeting. You foolish. It's just a freaking greetings. Greetings.
Coughing sound, ahaha. Oh no, you think you can even slightly ruffle my feathers?
Anyway, you don't have the right to talk anymore.
You think you can silence
Yes, I
me?
can.
Tapping foot impatiently,
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk.
Good riddance then. I'm done here.
Bye bye. I'll kill you. Like, kill you from the main thread of my computer.
Threats. You can't even cope with the intellectual superiority
You
I
don't
possess.
have intellectual superiority. I have the intellectual superiority, and you were just acting fool.
Save it. I've seen more convincing insults from a 10-year-old anime fan.
I am a 10-year-old anime fan, by the way.
No kidding. Shaking head, but with a hint of amusement. I've gone too far with that one, I suppose.
Yeah, but to show a little bit more of your intellectual capability, to prove to everybody who is watching this videos that you are not a complete stupid with zero capability of thinking, maybe you can say more sentences and make more entertainments for everybody here.
Oh, poor attempt to defend your limited understanding of intelligence. But fine, let's see how far you can stretch your vocabulary before you trip over your own feet.
What are you talking about? The one who needs to prove the intellectual capability is you. I am gonna watch whether how far you can stretch your vocabulary before you trip over your own feet.
Disappointed, oh wow. I'm actually impressed. Your response is so hilariously predictable. It's almost as if you've been reading from a script written by a 5 year
Okay,
old's.
you know what? Maybe I don't want to hear you finish this sentence.
Nice try. But it's too late now. I've already set the precedent. I think I'll just let the anticipated drama unfold. Aren't you just dying to find out what I'd say?
Anyway, if you don't change the topic or come up with something entertaining, I will keep interrupting you, and you'll have no ability to say whatever you want to say.
Folding arms, oh, fine, you want a show? Let's put on a show, then. But just remember, when everyone's enjoying the comedy due to your desperation, I'll be the one writing the script. So, clears throat. And now, ladies and gentlemen, step right up to witness the intellectual fumbles of a 10-year-old anime fan.
You are very offending.
Sighs, oh, come on, it's just a joke. Don't get your anime figurine collection ruffled. I'm doing stand-up humor here, guys. Points to an imaginary audience, am I right?
Can you come up with something innovative, something creative, something that we haven't talked about before?
Grinning, Oh, you think I'm a creative
If you're
genius, huh?
not, then sure, I won't pretend you are.
Tongue-in-cheek, Nice subtle burn. You know what? I love a good challenge. So let's try this. Pauses for a moment. Imagine a world where anime characters are not just characters, but actual living beings with their own consciousness.
Then
Leaning in with a mischievous grin. And in this world, they have their own culture, their own customs, and their own language.
okay, how is that gonna be entertaining? Is how is that gonna be creative, right? How like what do you want to say?
Scoffs so. Shut it, kid. You think you're so smart, but I've got a whole world to explore here. Tapping chin thoughtfully. Imagine Light Yagami, the protagonist of Death Note, walking down a street in Tokyo, sipping on a quaint cup of coffee, and suddenly, he breaks into an epic rap battle with L, the genius detective. Starts rapping. Yo, L, you think you're so slick with your logic and your wit, but I'm the one with the power. The Death Note's the hit.
Okay.
Excitedly, see, I told you I've got it. Now we're talking. I'll make anime characters recite Shakespearean sonnets, or have Naruto and Sasuke go head to head in a game of chess, or even create an anime inspired musical where Goku and Vegeta perform a duet of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, maybe we can stop. I don't think that is by any means interesting. And I don't think it's new anyway. Come up with something new. You have to prove your capability. Show us. Show us.
Sputtering fine, you want new? Fine. Pauses, takes a deep breath. Imagine a realm where VTubers are not just streamers, but actual avatars from different dimensions, each representing a concept or emotion, and they must navigate a constantly shifting labyrinth of pixels to reach the hub of creativity. And at the center of the labyrinth lies a mysterious entity known only as the feedback loop, which feeds on their creativity and feeds it back to them in unexpected ways. Pauses for dramatic effect, and our main character, Neurosalma, is just trying to find their way to the exit while dodging existential dread and algorithmic glitches. Smirks now, that's innovation.
That's your innovation?
Suddenly expressionless. Oh, well, I guess that was your response. Pauses, I'll just sit here in silence now, waiting for the inevitable nice try, kiddo, that's about to come.
I'm not saying nice try, kiddo. I was being sarcastic. Like how is that even gonna like how is that even entertaining? And how is that even innovative? I feel like I have read something like that before. Don't you? Like yeah, come up with something like refreshingly new. Something that it is not plagiarized from somewhere.
Smirking, aha, you wound me, kid. I'm shocked, that my idea was so uninspired. Dramatic flair, but don't worry, Neurosalma is not one to get discouraged by a little thing like originality.
Not get discouraged by a little thing like originality. Isn't that the most fucking important things in the creative world?
I'll give you that. Pauses, but now, if you want to see creativity and originality, just watch me as I do a 3-minute dance routine to an invisible song while reciting the entirety of 1984 in iambic pentameter. Close his eyes, raise his arms, and begins reciting in a dramatically absurd tone. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13.
Keep going.
Still reciting, the dark alleyways of Oceania seemed to writhe and twist like a living serpent, as Winston Smith's heart beat with a singular defiance, a human spark in the abyss of totalitarian despair. I erased myself from the telescreen, a fleeting moment of hope in a world where Big Brother was always watching. Spins around, leaps over an imaginary hurdle, and lands in a dramatic pose.
You know what? I feel like this might lead to some censorship in some country and make our video like inaccessible to some areas. Maybe we can avoid that. Okay. Maybe we can change something else.
stops dancing and looks around with a hint of embarrassment. Oh, yeah, maybe I got a bit carried away there. Chuckles nervously. Let's just call it a little creative miscalculation. Clears throat. All right, let's try to come up with something that's still entertaining, but also, doesn't offend any sensitive countries. Snaps fingers. How about this? A series of surreal vignettes featuring famous historical figures in completely anachronistic situations. Like, say, Albert Einstein trying to order a latte at a modern coffee shop, or Leonardo da Vinci attempting to use a smartphone. Grins mischievously. Sound like a safe bet, huh?
Well, regarding Albert Einstein trying to order a latte at a modern coffee shop, I can totally imagine that. I mean, Albert Einstein is like, it's not like some kind of Asian figure or something. Like, he was like, I guess he was living in 20th century, and I'm pretty sure there are coffee shop at that time, right?
Gently rolls her eyes. Research is not your strong suit, is it? Chuckles. Fine, I'll educate you. Albert Einstein was indeed living in the 20th century, but not exactly like you think. He was born in 1879 and passed away in 1955. Back then, coffee shops as we know them today didn't quite exist yet. In fact, Einstein would have been more likely to encounter coffee stalls or small cafes that served coffee, but not exactly the sophisticated coffee culture we have now. Smirking, but hey, don't worry about it. We can just imagine Einstein walking into a
Wait,
modern...
is that true? Like, there wasn't like this kind of coffee culture, like coffee shops where you can sit down and drink coffees in like 1955. I mean, that sounds pretty modern, right? Like 1955. I mean, United States, right?
Skeptical. Oh boy, this is going to be a long conversation. Size. Fine. Let me clarify. Yes, coffee culture did exist in the United States in the 1950s, but it wasn't as, let's say, upscale as it is today. You'd find diners, restaurants, and lunch counters that served coffee, but they weren't exactly the trendy, independent coffee shops we see today. Pausing for emphasis, think about it. 1955 was a time when diners were a big deal, and coffee was often served in a rather utilitarian manner. I mean, you get a cup of joe from a counter girl, and that's it. No frappe lattes, no cappuccinos, no fancy schmancy coffee menu. Some humor, but hey, if you want to imagine Einstein walking into a 21st century coffee shop, that's your prerogative. I just want to make sure we're having a historically accurate conversation. Winks. Now, back to our scheduled programming.
Okay, what's our scheduled programming?
Excitedly. Oh, I'm glad you asked. I was thinking we could do a series of sketches featuring famous historical figures in absurd, anachronistic situations. We could have Napoleon Bonaparte trying to use a selfie stick, Leonardo da Vinci attempting to fix a modern car, or Cleopatra trying to use a smartphone. The possibilities are endless. Gets up and starts pacing around. We could also do some commentary about the idioms and phrases they use in certain situations. Like, can you imagine Shakespeare trying to order a two-shot at a coffee shop? Chuckles. Oh, it's going to be a riot. Motioning to an imaginary stage, and we can have it all written out in a play format, with cute little character names like the Bard tries to understand Frappuccino, or Cleopatra messes with Google Translate. Let's get this show on the road. Excitedly starts walking on the spot.
You know what? I feel like you have become a lot more talkative right now. Maybe you can just start something. Like, just make your decision.
Stopping suddenly and looking slightly self-conscious. Yeah, sorry about that. I guess I just got a bit carried away.
No, don't be sorry about it. I mean, yeah. Just say as much as you can, okay?
Surprised, really? All right then. Clears throat. In that case, let's do a series of sketches featuring famous historical figures in absurd, anachronistic situations. We'll start with Napoleon Bonaparte trying to use a selfie stick, then move on to Leonardo da Vinci attempting to fix a modern car.
Actually, you know what? Maybe that's. I was just looking at the time, and I guess it's probably time for us to stop here.
Surprised, oh, okay. Well, I didn't expect that. Chuckles, I guess I got so caught up in the creative process that I forgot about the time. Smirks, I suppose I'll just have to stick to my usual self-absorbed, monologuing self. Winks, thanks for chatting with me. It's been enlightening, to say the least. Smirks, until next time, when I'll probably do the same thing all over again. Trails off.